5 filmmakers entered Blackwood Forest. Only their equipment was ever recovered. The final transmission carried one warning. If you hear someone calling your name, don't answer. Authorities sealed the forest. The case was closed, but the whispers never stopped. 30 years later, the legend had become an internet mystery. Thousands claimed Blackwood Forest was haunted. Most dismissed it as folklore, until Ranger Daniel Reeves broke his silence. For nearly 3 decades, he had patrolled the edge of the forest. He never entered after sunset. He never explained why. When reporters asked, he always gave the same answer: because the forest remembers. No one believed him. One rainy evening, a young investigative journalist named Sarah Collins arrived at the abandoned ranger station. She wasn't interested in ghost stories. She wanted facts. She placed an old tape recorder on the table. "I've read every report. Everyone disappeared. But you survived." Daniel stared at the recorder, then quietly asked, "Did you come alone?" Sarah nodded. The old ranger's face turned pale. "You should never come here alone." Before Sarah could ask another question, 3 slow knocks echoed against the station door. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel froze. "It found you." Sarah looked through the window. No one stood outside. She opened the door anyway. Nothing. Only dense fog drifting between the trees. Then she heard a familiar voice. Sarah. It was her younger brother. He had died 12 years earlier. She stepped onto the porch. The voice came again, closer. "Sarah." Daniel grabbed her arm with surprising strength. "Never answer." She looked back toward the forest. The fog had begun moving. The station lights flickered. Every radio switched on at once. Static filled the room. Then, a child's voice. Soft, calm. "He's lying." Sarah's blood ran cold. The voice continued. "You can still save them." Daniel immediately ripped every radio from the wall. The whispers stopped. For a moment. That night, Sarah stayed at the station. Daniel refused to sleep. He sat facing the window, with a shotgun resting across his knees. At exactly 2:17 a.m., the knocking returned. This time, from every wall, every window, every door. Knock, knock, knock. Hundreds of knocks, perfectly synchronized. The entire cabin shook. Sarah whispered, "What do they want?" Daniel answered without looking away from the window. "They want permission." The knocking stopped instantly. Then came silence, the kind of silence that presses against your ears. Outside, someone slowly walked across the porch. Heavy footsteps. 1, 2, 3. They stopped at the front door. A shadow appeared beneath it, standing perfectly still. Sarah reached for the doorknob. Daniel shouted, "Don't." The shadow spoke. It sounded exactly like Sarah. "I forgot my keys." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. "That's my voice." Daniel nodded. "It learns." At sunrise, the shadow vanished. Sarah opened the door. Fresh footprints covered the porch. Bare human footprints. They led into the forest, but none came back. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah convinced Daniel to take her to the place locals feared most. The Whispering Hollow. The deeper they walked, the older the forest became. Trees wider than houses blocked the sunlight. The air grew colder. GPS devices failed. Compasses spun endlessly. Then they found it. An enormous stone circle hidden beneath twisted roots. Its surface was carved with thousands of names. Some were centuries old. Others had been carved only days before. Sarah searched the wall. Her heart stopped. Near the bottom, a fresh carving. Sarah Collins. Below it, today's date. She staggered backward. "I've never been here." Daniel whispered, "Not yet." Suddenly, every tree around them began whispering. Hundreds of voices. Thousands. Growing louder. "Welcome back." The ground trembled. The center of the stone circle slowly cracked open. Something beneath the earth began to breathe. The whispers stopped. For one terrifying second, Then a pair of glowing white eyes opened in the darkness below. Daniel slowly raised his flashlight. His hand shook. No, it wasn't the forest. It was keeping something trapped. The eyes blinked. A smile emerged from the darkness, far too large to belong to any human. Then, a voice echoed from beneath the earth. You open the door. To be continued in Chapter 3. The Thing Beneath the Roots.